Hi there. This video will give you kind of an overview of a small utility that is available, which may be something that you want to add to your toolbox. Specifically, it deals with being able to recover past photographs or graphics that were associated with specific Ecwid items which you have in your storefront. I'm going to bring up an example storefront, and you notice all these pictures right here. Well, over time, some of those may have been misplaced or deleted, or you don't know what happened to them, which is not necessarily a bad thing because they're all in their place within the Ecwid store. But if you run across a situation where you want to delete some of them, some of these items, but you don't want to lose all the profile information that you put into each one of those items, including the photograph, you'd like to be able to capture that. Well, that's where this Ecwid Export comes into play. If you click this, it will bring up a page where you can be selective about what items you want to include in the download. You have a chance to select the delimiter, and if you're going to use this little utility I've written, you need to leave it on semicolon. And when you have the entire shop or selected items defined, and you click CVS download, it will create a CVS file. I'm not going to bore you with you having to watch that happen, but when it's finished, you will get a file that looks kind of like this, where it says products, and you have the date and the time that you created it. So if you open this, that the separator that it's being used is semicolon. That's important. All right. Here's where all of your profile information is stored in CVS. You got the name that you put in, the SKU number that was assigned by the program, and all of the other stuff, including way down here under image. You will notice that the name of the file that you uploaded originally is now been changed to some odd number that is being stored on their server. So you can't even rely on what you called it. Well, what this program does is to extract all of these pictures with this last part, that after the slash, and link it to the SKU number, because the SKU number then can link that back to this page where you can read the description and whatever. So the way this thing works is you've created a CVS file, you've used the delimiter of a semicolon, and I'm going to close this now, and you're going to store this CVS export file that you made from Ecwid in a folder, and I've called this folder Zot. Okay, this is the program that I've written. This is a little initialization INI file that goes with it. So we take a look at that. Uh, the top part is just information. But basically what you have is a header, leave that alone, and you have export file, and then behind the export file colon is my file name, plunked right in here. Now, when you run this program, you're going to have an entirely different date and time .cs file. So you put your file and replace it right here. So this information is current. Once you do that, all you will have to do is, let me go ahead and close this, is to run this file where it says read csv.exe. What this program will do is go into this file and extract the name it needs to look for, which is right here. The program will then open that CSV file and look specifically for the columns dealing with SKU numbers and image URLs. Alright, let's kick off this utility, the one that extracts the pictures from the Ecwid server and loads them down here in the folder that you're running this thing in. So I'm going to double click this. It's going to pop this DOS window that you don't need, so you can make that go away. Now it takes a while for this to work, but when it does, you can see that what it is downloading now is a series of graphics. The way you interpret that is that this column right here is the SKU number of a particular graphic in your that you've downloaded. This is the everything after the underscore is the actual fabricated number that the Ecwid folks gave to the picture or graphic that you associated with a particular item. And if you double click it, you should be able to see whatever the heck that graphic was. We also have a file called myfile.txt, which may or may not be there, but if it does appear, it will give you a listing of any items that were in the in your store, which were posted with profile information, but did not have a picture associated with it. So those are going to be obviously something you don't get pictures for. So in closing, what you can use this for is if you are retiring or deleting, let's say, items from your store, but you still want to maintain a record of what they were, this is a way of being able to download not only all of the profile information that was associated with every item, but also the graphic or the picture that was associated with it. And the reason that's important is when you delete an item from your Ecwid store, the graphic, which is out there being stored on the server, at some point in time is going to be deleted because there's no associated Ecwid item in your store to justify its existence. This obviously means if you want to have a good record, a complete record, and actually a record of your profile for items that you may wish to re-import back into the Ecwid store after you've previously deleted them or cleaned them up, this gives you the option of being able to collect all that data and have it ready whenever you need to move it back into the Ecwid system. So if you find this little utility an interesting tool that you want to have in the toolbox, I've listed in the description where you can download it if you're interested. In the meantime, appreciate you listening.